Hey guys, welcome back. So, I haven't been posting for a long time on this channel, and probably because now AI has taken over. I mean, there's not much that I can contribute in terms of explaining concepts or talking about things which AI cannot. At this point, like me, almost all of you would be using AI in your day to day work. Probably not writing even a line of code and letting AI do everything, which is fine. I mean, I also do it. I do review my code, but slowly and slowly losing more grasp of how much I'm in control. And I have gone from like an actual developer to like a program manager or like a product manager who can only specify what they want to build, and then they have to trust the AI to build something, and then do this refinement process of taking a look at the product and then going, okay, no, we have to fix these things, and go in this loop. And I had an idea of what can we do. So can we create a game where it's developed by AI for AI in a way? So I basically created a game called Detective Kai. Now the premise of this game is uh, that you're a detective and you need to solve a case, right? And in this case, I'll link the game in the description. If you want, you can play it out. It's completely free. And the premise of the game is that you have to solve a case, and the case is pretty much simple. So let's take a look at this case, right? So here, and the case is that you have this UI, and then you have to talk with the suspects, and then the suspects will reveal some clues. So for example, we have this clue which talks about that the storm was from this time to this time, and then there's obviously has been a murder, and there's the police surgeon note, so that came between 6:30 and 7:15, and there's some more details. I won't be going over them because I already know who did the murder, because I wrote almost all of the story here. That's the only thing which I wrote is the story. Everything else, the art, the UI, everything has been written by AI. So this was created with Claude with GPT 5.6 Soul as well. So all the asset that you see is GPT, whereas all the backend and the framework is Claude, and you have certain tools. So like you can use a notebook, you can call another AI to counsel. Now the AI doesn't know the case, so it will only uh, help you for how much you have seen about the case. So it doesn't reveal you the answer, right? And you have certain number of questions that you can ask. All of this is wired to GPT 5.6 Luna, which is pretty cheap now. And yeah, I can basically show you how the game works, and I can talk about the process that I took to create this game. Now, yeah, so if we come here, I can just uh, send a question like, okay, where were you when the murder took place, right? And there's a voice element as well, powered by 11 Labs API to give it more
I
flavor,
was
to
in
give
my
it more
room on the
soul.
front first floor. I had gone to sleep by 6, and I heard nothing at all until the girl screamed.
So
I have occupied that room for 9 years, and I know the ordinary sounds of the house very well.
yeah, and our main character's name is Detective Kai Bar, and in case there is some German audience here, Kai is like künstliche Intelligenz, which means AI. So it's Detective AI Bear, like, and that's the basic why I chose the name Detective Kai. Uh, nothing special, right? Probably she is not the murderer. I can also ask anyone who can confirm that
No one, so far as I know. I was asleep, and no person was in the room with me. The room is on the front first floor. One does not ordinarily expect a witness to another person's
So
sleep.
if I
I
think that
am
this is an
sorry,
important
detective,
enough
but that is the plain
concept,
answer.
I can pin it to my notebook, and in the notebook you can see that this thing is pinned, and I can always come back here, right? And then I can dismiss them. Then I can ask again. I can ask Silas, okay, where were you when the murder happened? So typical questions that you would see in your
I went out a
detective
little after
games
6
or like detective
and
shows
came
that you have to
back
ask them,
about 7:20,
and they will reply as to
I
what
was
they have
walking.
seen,
I often walk.
where were they, all of it is the same. So he told me I went for a little walking. So he's saying was not at the house, he went outside. This is an important thing because we know that the murder took place in the house, right? So we have to corroborate whether he's telling the truth or not, right? And then let's say if I'm being confused, right, I can just call a help, and then it says okay, he's saying, yeah, so it basically tells you, gives you the help as well. The reason you get the help is because this is a rookie level case. So if you go for a season level case or a veteran level case, the number of help that you get is enough. And I can say, anyway, I can confirm that you were not at the house, that you were outside, right? And
I should not know who saw me. I was walking alone.
there are three phases. So I can just dismiss them. So there are three phases to the case. So the first is the canvassing phase, where you ask a few questions to everyone, same way, who were at the house when the murder happened. And when you are
The
asking
lodgers,
the
I suppose.
questions,
Mr.
there are
Martin,
certain
Mr.
questions
Stote,
that
Miss
will
Crane.
trigger like
I was below in the back kitchen doing the work. I never went up.
that will trigger like an evidence to show up, and new evidence will basically form how much you can essentially figure out who did it, right? 1 second, I don't know why Claude is debugging. I have to cancel this, right? Yeah. Anyways, and essentially how I made it is that I wrote like a spec sheet of how the game should look like, how the game should work, gave the spec sheet to Claude, ran that in a loop, and Claude created the backend for it. Then for the assets, I wrote the asset prompts, gave it to GPT, and GPT created the asset. And as you can see, the assets are pretty well done. They follow the theme of the case. Every single character's asset also follows like a very specific theme, a 1930s rustic vibe to it, right? And then it says, okay, Mr. Martin, I was below. What were you doing when that happened? And you cannot prompt hack your
I was
way
in the back
into
kitchen the whole evening. I never went up at all.
winning the case, right? Because even the AI doesn't know who did it. Even the person who is the murderer doesn't know. It's only revealed based on specific situations where it's like, okay, when this and this evidence is revealed, then only you can figure out that, okay, yeah, this is the AI that did it, and that's only when it's revealed to the AI as well that they basically did the crime, and they have to confess. So you cannot prompt hack your way into winning. You cannot just accuse everyone and just saying, what happened, and you can ask again, where were you? And at the end it's revealed, okay, why did something happen.
In my room from 6 until the shouting started. I never went out in that rain.
Okay, I can pin this as well, and I can even again ask, okay, what should I ask next? It's always telling his absence as a beginning and end, but not much else. So it's telling you can talk to Martins, I can ask describe in detail where you take a walk. And then the second phase is interrogation.
I
In
walked
the
along the
interrogation
harbour
phase,
roads. I do not keep a route in my head, detective.
uh, in the interrogation phase, you can only ask a set number of questions to 3 people, right? So if there are 4 suspects, you will get 3 slots, which means you have to basically eliminate one of them. And you can go for a second round as well. So for example, if we file that, okay, maybe uh, the maid did it, and we can just use this one as we don't have any new evidence, so we just file and it will say, okay, wrongful arrest. And you can either know what happened, or you can just go back to the cabinet, and then you will get like a second attempt. In the second attempt, whatever you did in the first time remains, and then you can begin the case again from there. In the second attempt, some things changes. The AI will become a little more forgetful, because some time has passed between the first attempt and the second attempt. But overall, that's the mechanic. Now you can go back to the home page with some music there. Now there has been a lot of debate about using AI in like game development, and I am not a game developer. I am a backend engineer, a data scientist. I have no clue about game development, how they work, and one can argue that I skipped the hard work of learning to build sprites, learning to learn a game engine, how everything works, and I jumped straight into the development and basically created like a half-assed game which works, right? And that is true. There are purists out there who would argue that we shouldn't be working like this, right? And I somewhat agree with them that my enjoyment of building this was not super high. Had I built this game on my own in maybe a year's worth of time without AI, then I would have been much more proud of the work that I have done. So yeah, I'm not really proud of the game. The game is good. I like the game. I think it's a fun game to see how AI behaves in certain situations. It's like role playing with AI in this case, while you're also trying to solve a mystery. But there is no inherent satisfaction in the work. And that is true for even software development or data science now, working with AI, right? That joy of working has been stripped away a little, but you can deliver a lot faster. Like, I built this game in like a week or maybe 10 days, right? With the refinement cycle, the asset generation, refining the assets, and ensuring all the bugs are gone by playtesting it out. I'm sure there are some bugs still out there, but most of it is not there. And that is also part of actual development as well. But in actual development, bugs would have been fewer, and I would have much more tighter control on how the game behaves. But at the same time, it would have taken me longer. And maybe after building the game, I would have realized that this is not a good game. And now I have not wasted, but spent a year's worth of time. But learned also along the way a lot. And then the next game that I would have built would have been much faster, right? So that's what I'm gonna do now. Now I'm thinking of learning Godot and trying to build a very small game, but a simple game without using any AI, and compare my experience of building this versus that. And I will post that also here as well. And yeah, like I said, with AI now, I don't find the joy of making videos or any explanations, and it's also I think not very useful as well, because you are not going to anyways learn those concepts. You're going to ask the AI to do your work going forward. And that paradigm has arrived. I don't believe we are going back to not using AI, but I also believe that we should not use AI that much because it makes us dumber. It makes the code or the work that you produce feel not your own. It makes you believe that you can do things, but after it is done, there's a shallowness in your work. There's like a hollow feeling that if only you had done it yourself, it would have been better, or it would have been more fulfilling. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and check the game out at detectivekai.com. Let me know your feedback, good or bad or ugly, whatever it is, and I'll try to respond to the best of my capability. Alright, thanks a lot, and see you when I see you. Bye bye.